You're the beautiful one, God. Oh, we call you Jesus. Jesus, our King, our good shepherd, you're sweeter than honey. Ain't nothing and no one compares to you. Oh, we call you Jesus.
Well, we want to welcome you this morning to the Praise Life Morning Show right here on SPRLIVEFM.com, also broadcasting through the Fun City Radio FM and Success Radio. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand." And I later on spoke in my devotion, tells you that sometimes in order for us to get to our summer, we have to get through winter. Now, there's something that I first heard on our BBC World Service News that comes over on our station here, SPRLIVEFM.com, and it was talking about a gentleman who had an accident and woke up speaking fluent Japanese. Now, he's an American, never learned the language. His wife said he never learned the language, but he woke up speaking fluent Japanese. For a matter of fact, when they were speaking to him, he did not comprehend a thing they were saying, because he was wondering who and what are they talking about. Needless to say, I then found out of a story that told me of this young boy in, I think it's Atlanta, Georgia, was playing soccer and woke up. He also was speaking Spanish. That actual thing is known as foreign accent syndrome. Now, according to my information that I have here, this young lady in 2019 was out with some friends having celebrating her birthday, so to speak, and she had an accident. Her name is Deana-Rae Clayton, and an accident that left one of her friends dead, and they said two others seriously injured. But the interesting thing is that she woke up speaking first with an American accent, then it shifted to a British accent. Good morning, Deana-Rae. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing okay.
Yesterday, I noticed on your IG you were saying that you fell. How are you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling okay. I actually fell a couple days ago. It's been up and down, but I'm feeling it this morning.
Okay, so but one of the things I found very funny, though, it was a funny part. You says, "I hope I didn't lose my accent." You're having fun with this, aren't you?
Yes, I actually am, because I'm in Jamaica. What happens is, as long as somebody hears me talk, it's like they automatically change their behavior, their attitude, and I get great customer service.
Oh, so it's the foreign syndrome thing that is really working for you. It's working full time for you right now.
Yes, so it is.
So tell us a little bit before the accident. Like, you were planning a 6-week thing. Is that what you said?
Yes, because what happened, I'm a person that's big on birthdays. And so I planned my birthday in 2019 for 6 weeks. So it was from May 21st to June 30. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I do that is because I have a lot of different friends, a lot of different circles, and not everybody can come together at once. So I gave everybody the opportunity to fit themselves in whatever way they could. So it was the last part of the celebration, and I was out with 4 friends, and we were fine. We went to the party and we didn't even drink. We made a fun out of it, because then what they were giving us in terms of alcohol, none of us drank it. So the entire night we were on juice and just eating food. And I was fine. And we were all fine, and we made our way home, and I just didn't make it home.
Yeah. Were you confused when you woke up 2 days later that one minute you were sleeping in a car and you didn't know where you were at that point?
Yes, I was very confused, because when I woke up, I had a lot of people around me. My mother and father was around me praying. I had friends around me. At that time, I could recognize them anyways and know where I was. And then when I opened my eyes, I could only see out of one eye, and I was looking up in the ceiling, and I was being told, "You cannot move."
Wow. So, how much damage did the accident cause?
Okay, so I suffered a broken right hip, a broken right pelvis, broken left femur. My spine was fractured in three places. My my facial bones were fractured. I had a fractured left eye socket, lacerated right eye. I had head trauma. I was left immobile.
Wow. So, how are you today? Because I know you had four surgeries, and of course
I've actually had 5 surgeries.
oh, 5 surgeries. Wow. And so now you're blind in your right eye.
That's correct.
Great. And how is your vision in your left?
My vision in my left is not 20/20 because I do wear glasses, but I can see out of my left eye to a certain point because I'm now farsighted and nearsighted.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm blind in my right eye, the nerves are still working. So it is as if the right eye is trying to see, so it pressures the left eye. But apart from that, I don't have my vision in the left eye is not impaired in any way.
And now I know there's some brain damage. I think I read something where it says you had some swelling on the brain.
Yes, I do have a small swelling on the brain because what happened is when the accident actually happened, I got head trauma, and with the head trauma, I got a minor stroke. And in the minor stroke, it has a swelling in my brain, which caused me to have foreign accent syndrome and to wake up left-handed when I've been right-handed my entire life. And so, with a numerous amount of MRIs, I have not been able to see any change in the swelling of the brain. It's not affected me in any way. But my neurologist said to me he's heard of persons in my condition, but he's never had somebody like me.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of research being done because if I get a headache, I can't sleep because then sleeping, I can either get a seizure or a stroke. If that happens, they don't know what's going to happen if I should actually experience one of those things. So it's a lot of research that needs to be done because most of my doctors keep saying to me they've heard about patients like me before, but they've never experienced it.
I have read after this accident that this what do you call foreign accent syndrome. I have read somewhere that this normally don't last more than 6 months. People do go back to normal, but this has lasted a lot longer than you expected.
Yes, because this year will be 2 years since my accident. And then what happens is the more I recover, it's the more I'm not being able to understand the Jamaican dialect as fluent as I normally would. So sometimes when persons are talking to me, some of the words fly over my head.
Wow, so it's really all gone. So you're
Yeah.
a full British person that's never been to England.
No, I've never been to England. I've never applied for British visa. I don't watch international film, nothing at all.
Wow, I'm. Do you sometimes sit down and be amazed at what transpired, and here you are, you lost your friend, and you're here today?
Yes, I do sit down and think about it a lot because then, based on my injuries, I'm not supposed to be living. And so I think that I have some higher purpose. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to see how best I can prepare myself. Whenever it comes, I'm fully prepared in order to fulfill that purpose. I do think it has to do with going back into the kingdom of God, and I do believe it has to go with helping people in whatever way that I can. And that's what I've been trying to do. But I was told by my neurologist that one day I can wake up and speak a different language. So I'm a little fearful of that.
That you'll wake up speaking a different language?
Yes, say for instance, I can wake up speaking French or Chinese or Japanese, or because they're saying that when you have brain damage, the brain doesn't go back to where it was before. It actually just progresses with whatever damage that you have. So it's not like my brain is going to go back to, it's going to be rewired to what it's been before. When you have brain damage, it just progresses further. So, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty, and I'm trying to do as much research as possible. But I'm just giving God thanks because if it was not for Him, I would not be here.
Now, that's what I was coming to next. At the time of your partying, was God in your thoughts at all?
No, He was not. The most I do when I'm leaving my house is I will pray before I leave. When I'm leaving the location, I'll pray before I leave because most of the time I will be driving. And you know, you will drive for yourself and other people, but other people won't drive for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the most I would have done But even in my accident, a lot of people said to me I was awake. The car that was traveling behind me said to me when they actually stopped to help us out the vehicle, I took my phone up and I called my mother and told my mother that I was in an accident. I have no recollection of that. The only thing I can remember is going into the vehicle, bringing my friend home, and the next thing I can remember is being pushed on a stretcher in a hospital. And I was being pushed really, really fast. I had a man to my left. He was in a white coat. And when I tried to look at that man, I saw a bright light. I had to turn my face away. And then when I looked up, I saw another bright light. So I had to turn my face away. But when I looked to my right, I saw a tall, dark man in a red Oxford shirt. And he had his hand on my chest, rubbing it and saying, Deana-Rae, don't worry, you're going to be okay. And that's what he keeps repeating. And when I've told my doctors and my parents and all my friends this, they're saying that that did not exist any at all. I was awake, I was talking, I was saying my friends needed help, and I have no recollection of that at all. So I believe that was the bright, that bright light that people
yes,
say when you
the transition, like you didn't want to go. So
I believe that the bright light does exist.
So I've had people spoke about that before. I myself had experienced that at a particular time of my life. But for you, was that a pivotal moment for you when you recognized, wait a minute, I'm alive, my friends are dead, my friend is dead. The two other people that were in the accident were also were seriously injured. How are they doing, by the way? Do you know?
They're doing very well, actually. They're doing very well. They've been able to slowly transition back into a way of life, and they're doing very well, and we still talk. And when it comes around to our accident, when it comes around to our friend's birthday, we do celebrate it. They go look for him at the graveside. So we're doing very well, as much as we can do.
I'm sitting here and I'm trying to remember the name. It's called something guilt. The name is not coming to my head right now, but I know somebody's going to type it up for me. Do you feel guilty that your friend is dead and you're alive?
No, I don't feel guilty at all. I don't feel guilty because it's not like I had a conversation with God before and I knew what was going to happen. We had no idea. It's not like we were driving recklessly. It's not that we were drunk. It's not that we were sleepy. We were all awake. We were all talking. We were all okay. And we were keeping each other's company along the journey. So we knew actually nothing that would happen. And no, I don't feel guilty about it. I do feel sad because he was very young and he's a very jovial person. You know those persons that no matter when you go around them, you just have to be happy and you have to be content and relaxed. He was that type of person. And what I have to think about is the fact that everybody, they do have a number, and his number was called and my number was not. I mean, a lot of people, they actually blame me for his death. They blame me because I lived and he died, and they don't understand why. But I can't take on those opinions, and I'm not responsible for people's perspectives. So no, I don't feel guilty. I've never felt guilty, and I will never feel guilty. Yeah. I will honor his memory as long as I live there.
Yeah, it's called survivor's guilt. That's what I was trying to remember. Thank you so much, Eslyn. Who was driving, by the way? Were you driving?
No, he was driving at the time of the accident.
Okay.
I was seated behind him.
Okay. Could you imagine if you were in front? What would it have been like?
I have imagined that. And I said to myself, maybe if I was the one driving, I would have died. But that's still a maybe. I could have been in the front and I still didn't die. So I don't try to think about what if. I try to think about the now, and I try to give thanks for the now. Because if I was supposed to die that day or any other day after that, I wouldn't wake up. So I can't dwell on what could have been or would have been. I have to dwell on the fact that I was in an accident. It was a horrible accident. I have a new normal, and I now have to make myself comfortable in this new normal to go ahead and fulfill whatever purpose I have while I'm still alive.
You also said that that you had some difficulty in walking. Yeah. How is that doing today?
Well, it's not doing very well actually. Because my left femur, which is like your left leg, so it's the bone that goes from your hip to your knee, that's broken in two. And so I have a titanium bar in that leg. And normally, my orthopedic surgeon said to me, it would take 4 months in order to heal. it's almost 2 years and my femur has not healed. And at this point, they're not sure why it has not healed. And so, because it's not healed, I've been banned from learning to walk a second time. Because I learned to walk when my accident was in June. I learned to walk by the December of 2019. I was banned from walking because the femur was not healing. In June 30, 2020, I did the third surgery on that leg, and what they did was a bone graft surgery. They took a piece of my left hip bone and they placed it into the femur just to see if they can, foster some new growth. 6 months later, December of last year, when I went to see, if the femur has been healing, there has been no progress at all. And so I'm banned for another 6 months until June of this year to see if the femur can heal. So I'm not able to walk. Well, I'm able to walk. I'm not supposed to on crutches. And so if the femur doesn't heal by June of this year, they're going to have to decide what's the next course of action or what type of surgery is going to help my leg to heal.
I cannot imagine what you're going through, apart from enjoying the fact that you have a different accent now. When you speak, people listen, people stop and pay attention. How much pain are you in daily?
I'm normally in pain all day, every day. I have gotten some relief about a month ago. I had relief about 3 or 4 days. But normally, everything I do, it's painful. It's just that now I can manage the pain. If I roll over on the bed, simplest of things, I can't bend down, I can tell you that much. If I do try to bend, I do feel pain. I can tell you when the rain is going to fall, because I feel pain. The harder the rain falls, the more pain I feel. If there's lightning, I have to be padded up and away from mirrors. I can't go to metal detectors. I can't go into an electronic store. So the pain is there every day. It's just it comes in different stages and it comes in different severities. So I'm able to manage pain. And I pray a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine now. So, can I say right now that you are indeed a I hate to use the word Christian, but a disciple of Christ at this point? Have you really surrendered your life to Christ now?
Yes, I had surrendered my life to Christ in April of 2005. But then, as a young adult, you go to university, you have friends, you kind of don't walk the Christian path that you're supposed to walk. And then when my accident happened in that same year, one of my resolutions was that I was going to find a church and go back into church, because I realized that my life actually progressed in a better way when I was a part of the church and I was in church. And I did everything instead of finding a church. So I said, out of my accident, I said, God, okay, fine. I get your point. You want me to come back. And I rededicated my life to Christ in May of last year. And just like my recovery journey, Christianity is a journey. And I try every day to be closer to God, to do the right thing. I read my daily bread. I have different Bible study groups that actually reached out to me because of my accident. And we try to actually work and talk and, see if we can give our perspective of how to live a good Christian life.
Well, we're just about the end of this part of the interview, but I'm going to be following you just to see what's your progress in terms, especially with your healing. I know we have quite a bit of people listening, quite a people who have locked in, not only from our station, because we have two stations. We have that also is linked to us at this particular morning show on SPRLIVEFM.com. Do you have a YouTube channel, Instagram? Tell us about that. Where can they find you?
Okay, yes, I do have a YouTube channel, because I thought that if I have a YouTube channel, then some doctor would actually see it and reach out to me and tell me, okay, Deana-Rae, this is what is happening to you, and this is how we can live with it or not live with it or fix it. So I do have a YouTube channel. It's called British Bionic Babe. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the British is the accent, the bionic is because my entire bottom half is literally metal, and babe is just the, associate that I'm female. And my Instagram is Deana-Rae Clayton.
Deana-Rae Clayton. Okay, so we want you to subscribe to British Bionic Babe, as well as subscribe to SPR Live, Streaming Praise Radio, subscribe to Streaming Praise Radio, and where if you want to find this video, of course, it's going to be pushed over to British Bionic Babe as well, so you can listen to it there too as well. And your IG is Deana-Rae Clayton.
That's correct.
Correct. Okay. Follow us and subscribe to SPR Live FM. And I know my my programmer is going to tell me about, you're making that mistake again. Where you subscribe to our Streaming Praise Radio and follow us on IG, which is SPR Live FM, and our Facebook Streaming Praise Radio, as well as our Twitter. Yeah, follow us on Twitter as well. I'm so grateful. But there's something that I have to do before I let you go.
Okay.
We got a lot of listeners listening right now to your situation, what transpired with you, and there's nothing. I wouldn't say it's unique in the sense that that has happened to some other people that has happened to, but you happen to be here, and this is what God is asking me to do with you before I let you go. I understand too that you're the only one in Jamaica that is like this.
Well, not really the only one, but I'm the only one that it's prolonged so much, because people have gone through it, but it's not lasted this long now.
Okay, so you're the long-lasting one.
Yeah,
so,
the long-lasting one.
Here's what I'm telling you. God has spared your life for a purpose. You got to go to Him every single day and get a clarity as to what it is that He wants you to do. You're here not by accident, but on purpose. And therefore, purpose must be fulfilled. God spared you from whatever road that He knew you were going to be going down after then, and He says, okay, no, I'm going to put a major roadblock for you. It may look like it's horrific, but it's a turning point in your life. The way God is saying, I'm about to change your life. You're going to go through the wilderness for a little bit, but when you come out, you're going to be like that shining gold, that diamond, that rose that everybody sees and says, sweet smelling flavor coming back to them. So I'm going to pray with you before we leave. Okay? Father, Deana-Rae is here. I had the opportunity. We were supposed to speak with her last week. We didn't know what happened. We don't know why, but we know you have everything lined up and tuned up just for your moment. Nothing here that we do, we will get the glory, but you will get the glory. She's in pain every day, she says. She has some swelling in the brain. Her left femur is not healing as it's supposed to. So we ask you, oh God, to do a complete restoration in this young woman's body, that when she is completely healed, she will know that it has to be you, nobody else. No doctor, no special prayer, no nothing. It's only you that can transform and restore her body to where it's supposed to be. So, Father, as the amount of us that are here agreeing, you say, where two agree is touching anything, it shall be done. You also said one will put 1,000 to flight, two will put 10,000 to flight. Today, Lord, we're coming on behalf of Deana-Rae, and we're saying, Lord, your Bible says by your stripes you're healed. We also know that you told Paul that your grace is sufficient. We also know that. But we're asking for a special restoration in Dana's life, that she does not have to go through the pain. Even if she does not walk, she still doesn't have to go through the pain. Even if she does, her accent changes back to where it's supposed to be. You let her know, God, what it is that you have called her to do. So we thank you for healing her. We thank you for restoring her. We thank you for putting her back together. We give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen. Deana-Rae, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I know for a lot of people, they'll probably be thinking, wow, I don't know if I can handle this. But you know what? God gives us different things to different people for those that can handle it. And you know you can handle it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you texting me and saying, hey, guess what? I'm no longer in pain. Guess what? I'm walking again. Guess what? I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to that. So God bless you, and you have yourself an amazing day.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to everybody that Joe. Thank you so much for being here.
God bless you.
Okay.
This is SPRLIVEFM.com. This is the Praise Life Morning Show. We want to thank you guys so much for being with us today. We're going to switch over to our Wednesday Wonders of Wealth moment. So stick and stay with us right here on the Praise Life Morning Show.